Welcome back to Brentford Fan TV, and this is the Mönchengladbach preview in our final game of pre-season. But before we get into that game, we're going to talk about our 1-0 win over QPR, our West London rivals last week. Take it away, Ben.
Yeah, and it was a great start. We managed to score within 2 minutes. An incredible header from the captain, Collins. And isn't it a great way for him to start his career as Brentford captain?
Yeah, named captain in the morning and scores within a minute, or just over a minute. Like, you could see it in his face when he celebrated.
Yeah,
at first, there was a massive smile on his face. I saw Jensen, everyone around was just smiling at him, and then he went all serious. And like a second later, like, oh yeah, now I'm captain. Yeah, I'll do that. It was like he was trying to reel in the excitement after he scored.
Yeah,
but what I really liked about that goal was Clyde's assist, because he cut in and crossed it in on his left foot, and it was a perfect cross for Collins to head in.
Yeah.
And what I love about Coyote is that he's sort of like, he can just do everything, it feels like. He can take on players, he can get out of tight situations, and his crossing's really good, which I'm really impressed by.
Yeah.
And from the 2 pre-season games we've seen so far, I've been really impressed by him.
Yeah.
And I feel like in this new Keith Andrews system so far, it feels like he's one of the players that's really benefiting. Especially sort of in that way that, Carvalho's been playing on the right wing. The way he's inverting is giving Coyote a lot of space to thrive. And so, hopefully he can bring that into the Premier League season.
Yeah, because that's the great thing about Coyote. He's great at defending, but he can also go up and attack without it affecting any of his game. I think he's stronger attacking.
But he's so good defensively.
He's so good defensively that he is just the perfect player to have at right back.
Yeah.
Especially in this new system, as you mentioned, Carvalho coming inside, playing a bit more deeper than Mbama would.
Yeah, so I think we've got a really good player on our hands.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a steal, 15 million.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But in general, with that first half, we definitely controlled the game. And also going into the start of the second half with the same 11, we controlled the game, but I was a bit disappointed with the lack of cutting edge.
Yeah.
It makes sense in a way when you consider there was no Sharda, no Mbamo, no Wissa. It was a completely new front three from last season, and so it makes sense. But we should be doing better, I thought, because QPR are like sort of a lower Championship side. So, but as we said, it was only our second game of pre-season. Yeah. There's still plenty to happen. But the big standout, one of the many big standouts from that game for me was Yeho Yarmolenko.
Yeah.
He seemed to just have one of the best games I've ever seen him play. What do you think?
I think he's really taken that midfield and creating it his own. Since Norgard left, there's been Norgard's left, leaving a void in the team. He's kind of just used it as space for him to grow as a player. I think it was great, because most of the times we lost the ball, there was a loose ball, he was there.
Yeah.
He was there, and it's just like, he's such a great player, and he still has improvement to grow, because he's quite young as well still.
Yeah. I thought it was such a good all-round performance from him on the ball. It felt like he couldn't put a ball wrong that game until he did, where he tried a backheel flick and gave the ball away.
Yeah.
But he was sort of like chipping the ball over players. He was not doing skills here and there. And so I have a feeling that if we're starting, say, a midfield of Yarmolenko, Jensen, say first game of the season, I feel like Jensen will be being more attacking than Yarmolenko, because last season when it was Norgard Janelt, I always thought of Janelt as the more attacking player, but really it wasn't Janelt who sat back, and Norgard went forward a bit more last season, and he had the goals and the assists to show for it.
Yeah, he did.
And I almost see Yarmolenko now being more of the holding six out of the 2 6s we'll play, and say Jensen would go more forward. But then if it's, say, Yarmolenko, Henderson, of course, Henderson would be more deep. But, it's all interchangeable.
And he has that dynamic range that is great to see in midfielders.
Yeah, but I know. Surprisingly, though, I was quite happy, though, after, say, 60th minute, 70th minute, when we've completely changed out the starting 11 for the subs. And I was pleasantly surprised by the subs. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a bit different. We didn't really control the game as much, but every player went for it. We played quite attacking football. It was great to see Donovan on the right and Milambo on the left. They were great.
I think, you said Milambo. I think he was arguably man of the match, and he only played about 30, 40 minutes. I was that impressed. I think, he is our most expensive signing of this summer.
Yeah.
And he is a very young player, but he's got really good experience in first team football in the Netherlands, Champions League goals and assists. And so hopefully we've really got a good player,
Yeah.
But, he played really well. And so just thought we'd shout him out.
Yeah, and it seemed like, I thought he was more of he is more of an attacking midfielder, but he seemed to play left wing like it was his normal position. So,
And then I'd say the only thing that was really a bit frustrating from that game is the lack of players, of some players in the team.
Yeah.
And so Schade, Henderson, Sepp van der Berg, Nunes and Pinnock, none of them were in the 11. So I believe Keith Andrews said after the game, Nunes, he got that sort of hamstring injury in the previous game, makes sense. Pinnock was apparently a little bit injured, but should be back for tomorrow's game against Gladbach. Van der Berg, slight knock, Henderson, slight knock, and so would all be back. And he did say Schade, slight knock, and should be back. But I think Brentford posted some training photos today, and there was one of the whole team sort of talking to each other. And I couldn't see Schade.
Yeah.
And so I am sort of wondering, is he injured?
Yeah.
Will he not be able to start the season? Which I think would be very bad, because that would be then a completely different front three from last season. Of course, Wissa might be saying, might be going, we don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that takes us on to Mönchengladbach.
Yes.
And, well, what do you think we'll see tomorrow, Ben?
I'm not too sure. I think we'll see a similar front three to what started the QPR game, with Lewis Potter on the left, Thiago up front, and Carvalho again, the right wing. But I think, the main difference, I think we'll see Henderson back starting, and then we'll see how midfield can line up with him in it.
Yeah, and hopefully we should see Wissa in the squad tomorrow.
Yeah.
Of course, he said things. He doesn't want to be at the club, but he should be in the squad, and he should be playing, at least as a sub. I believe there is a little bit more transfer rumours or news today on Wissa, if the club's interested. But I do think there's a possibility that he stays at Brentford this season, or at least for the first 2 weeks of the season, maybe. So, just having ready, I reckon, as like a bench player, for maybe the start of the season. But then also, as we mentioned a second ago, Schade, we couldn't see in the training photos, and so is Schade. It's just that concern of Kino's spot on the left, Carvalho on the right, Thiago up front. I'm not calling it a bad front three, but I don't think it's very strong.
Bad. Yeah, especially as they've only really had one pre-season game playing together.
Yeah, lack of time playing together.
Yeah.
Kino's Potter, who I thought had very little impact in both the first two pre-season games, which isn't great.
Yeah, he seems now, having had that season at left back, he seems more suited to that role now.
Yeah.
Even though he was very attacking when he played left back. Yeah, it's strange to see his career trajectory change a bit with all that.
But I still think he sees himself as a winger.
Yeah.
I still think Keith Andrews sees him as a winger.
Yeah, he definitely
for the club. It's just, I think, even before he was playing left back last season, he was struggling for goal contributions.
Yeah, he was.
So, he was at the club for a whole season and a bit before he got his first Premier League goal. And so, just him starting at left wing, I'll back him, but I'm just saying, I don't know if we're going to get many goals from that. And so I think that's all there really is for the Gladbach side of it. And now I'm sort of thinking, what sort of 11 do we want to see to be our firm starting 11 for game week 1 of the Premier League. I think, obviously, Kelleher in goal.
Yeah.
Very happy with that.
Yeah.
I think Coyote, Van der Berg and Collins, they're all...
Yeah, they're definitely... I think they're certain.
They're certain. I'm very happy with Rico Henry to start at left back.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say I'd be just unhappy if Keyless Potter was moved there, or if Aaron Hickey, who can play there.
I think Aaron Hickey might be what we go with. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I think, it's more likely Rico Henry will be because he's naturally left back. He's left-footed. But, Aaron Hickey has played left back before, and I think he's too good of a player not to include. But Coyote's at that point where he's a firm starter at right back.
Definitely.
So we'll see how... Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Aaron Hickey is reintroduced to the squad. But, I think I'd prefer to see him at... Well, yeah, I'd prefer Coyote to play over him.
I mean, now for the midfield, and I think my ideal 2 number 6s, or 6 and 8, my ideal would be Yarmulke and Janelt. However, Janelt is injured, of course.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking it's between... Yarmulke is a definite starter for me. It's just who would partner him, Jensen or Henderson. And I'm thinking Henderson is 35, I think. And so it's not like he wouldn't play the entirety of every game.
Yeah.
Or probably wouldn't play every week. And so maybe it's possible that Jensen and Henderson would rotate with each other.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, so Jensen could be looking for might be getting a lot more game time this season than last season at least. Anyway, number 10, obviously, Mikkel Damsgaard.
Yeah, Damsgaard.
No questions asked.
Yeah.
Left wing, Kevin Schade, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say at the minute Kevin Schade, yeah.
Yeah, he's locked on. Of course, we're not sure if he's injured, but...
Yeah, we're not sure what's going on.
Right wing, well, we sold him Barmo, and we haven't signed a right winger other than Donovan. But he's more of like... Well, he was initially signed for the B team, and he's been promoted straight away since being signed. So, I'm thinking... Well, we've been playing Carvalho right wing pre-season.
I think until we get a replacement, it'll be Carvalho in the right wing.
Yeah. And then up front, Thiago.
Yeah, Thiago. Sure.
But I still think we need to sign another striker, especially if Russell goes.
Yeah, we definitely need a backup who also has a different style of play to Thiago as well.
Yeah.
I think that's what was good when we had Tony and Wissa. Tony would play the majority of the game, and then Wissa would come on and bring something new.
Yeah, definitely. And so I think that's all there really is to say in this video.
Yeah.
Hopefully we win tomorrow against Gladbach, and hopefully we start the season well. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you soon.